Hello, my name is Dr. George Mochocki, and today we're going to learn how to form teams and make teams utilizing CATME, CATME Smarter Teamwork. CATME basically stands for Comprehensive Assessment of Team Members' Effectiveness. It's a free web-based program available to academics. As long as you're an academic, this program is available for you. So I'm going to log into my account and I'm just going to go this. I'm utilizing this here for the college that I'm teaching now, but I'm keeping it very general. So I've created a test account that I went through with emails and everything else. I'll show you some of the aspects of CATME. So I'm going to log into my email. Oops, here we go. And I'll log in this at the Harper one. And once you set up, you could have, I'm an adjunct instructor at this school, but what you could do, just remember my password. But what happens if you're an adjunct instructor at different schools, you just set up different login accounts. And it's going to take a few minutes. You see it's working up in here. Okay, so here we go. And this is the class I'm going to do. I'll do the short, maybe 5-10 minute video clips, YouTube clips on this one here. We're doing on how to form the teams. First survey evaluation. The second ones will be on your first peer evaluation and a final peer evaluation, the data and everything else. So this one, let's just go real quickly. Now these teams have already been formed, but everything else, I could use the same data coming back in here and showing you how if I would be forming a brand new team. So I'm going to click in here, and what I basically have when you first come in here, it's going to ask you for an activity. When you're going to log into there, and you can say, I'm going to create a brand new classroom. You create it. You have two aspects in CATME. One is team maker, and the other is a peer evaluation, or see how the individual does within the team. This one we're only going to be talking about making peer. So I named it Team Maker Survey. Now what it does, and I'm going to go into this a little bit more detail, but what it does, it basically allows you to, instead of just select people randomly out of your classroom, you will send a survey. CATME will send a survey to individual students as you've put them in. I have another YouTube showing you how to do that, but you put the students in. So I've already created all these accounts, put the students in, and they'll send a survey, and they'll ask them different questions, a variety of categories. So I'm just going to go some of the categories that I already selected on this. Your gender, your race, your previous schedule, age, your major. If I'm looking at STEMs, science, technology, engineering, and math. If your school is, a lot of foreign universities, that is the core, and even a lot of junior colleges, which I teach at, is basically the core. English skills is English first language. A big picture oriented, and you could select all of them, or you could select one. And there's later on I'll go through here, show you there's a question things where you could ask your own questions if you have specifically for your class, and then they'll give you the variety of, I'm just giving you a big overview picture. It also gives you the variety of how diverse of a team you want. I want my team to be diverse. That's okay. So I've got the information. I have all this information on here. Now I already set up these individuals, so I'm just going to go back in here into save and return. I just want to show you how this looks at the beginning aspect of CATME. It's going to take a few seconds here. And now when I go back in here, but I'm going to go in here, and this data, I already created a team. But what it's going to do, this is the information, remember, that I tagged on here. So it tells me all this information, everything I had on there. It gives me a percentage, it gives everything else. Because these are the questions I asked, and it related them to how diversified I want the team members. I don't want everyone to be the same. If I'm looking at for them to be functional in business or in academia and research or anything else, you have to know how to work with teams. And when you're working with teams, you do have some similarities, but you also have a lot of diversification, either by age, color, what do you call it, different cultural, different discipline likes, whatever you want, gender, anything you want to do, time commitment, experience, all those are variables. So if you're looking at collaborative learning, which the school I'm, basically a lot of schools are looking at collaborative learning, is team building. How do I get people to work within the team? So this gives me some information. So I'm just showing you, I'm going to go all the way back in here, but I'm going to go look at here. I'm not going to read this bit. I'm going to make new teams. I'm going to say I'm going to make teams. So if you would have came in here and after the students answered the surveys, But you know what I mean. So they asked these are the questions you asked, and I'm going to go into here and to see how many teams you want. I make a team of 5. You can make a team of 3. How large of a team do you really want? You know, you can make teams of 2. You can make teams of 3 or 4. It all depends. When I like to make teams of 5 or 6, is because I do a lot of peer evaluations, and the peer evaluation I want to keep it anonymous between each members, so they'll get an evaluation when you go into that. They'll be able to see how they rated among other team members without knowing which team members did that. Or if you have a team of 2, so it's real obvious, you know, what you wrote about me, but they could write it just for the instructor, because you have the ability to either keep the information for yourself or release the information back to the students. Since I teach management and marketing and everything else, and part of business is evaluations, I like to give the feedback back to the students. Here's how you're being evaluated. Here's what your team members are talking about you. But so if I'm looking at this here, I've got 8 females and I got 6 males. How diverse do I want it? Do you see what I'm saying? I can control by putting a different button here, and it'll change. I want it more diverse. I want all ladies together. I want all men. I want or I want a neutral. Let the system do it. See, and the same with the race. How do we learn to deal with other individuals is unless you interact with this. So part of being successful is not only to understand the skill sets, but to bring them in. So if I have a person who has a low GPA and a person who has a high GPA, the person with the higher GPA should be able to assist the person with the lower GPA. The lower GPA could say, hey, I have someone to help me, and I can see how he or she does that. And this is how the learning works. This is how collaborative learning should be. And this is why CATME is an excellent system, because it'll give you the diversification, so you're not just picking 1, 2, 3, 4, and so, oh my God, I have all the women, I have all the men. And the other thing is it does give you the flexibility for the students to select what time frames they're available. And it depends. Again, a similar group, I would like students, if they're traveling, you know, so it's a community college, that they're close. If you're doing it on campus, you're just looking more not on the travel time, so the questions you're asking would be more questions on availability, because usually you're on campus or close by. You know, weekends, credits, major, English second language. You don't want everyone with English with a second language in one group, because I understand they help each other. You may have 1 or 2, but it depends how diversified. You want other people who English is the first language, so that's how they learn. English is the second language for me, so I understand that. You know, leadership, you want, some people want to be leaders. You want to have all leaders in one group that fights, even though I tell people that you need to be a good leader, you have to be a good follower. And remember, so you have all this, and see now, so I have all these questions, and the size of the group, this one's I made in size, let's see if I make it in the size of, let's see, 7 to a group, or 47, I have enough people. I'll make 7 to the group, and I want that the minimum. You know what I mean? So they have to have more. I can have more than 7 in the group, but that's the minimum. And I hit this thing, is view teams. It'll take a few minutes. Okay, we're up now. And basically what it did, you see how it changed all the things. Here's me. That's always me in here, because I use this because I send myself information to see what this student. So with the information they send me in the sex and male, this is how it is diversified. You see, look at the GPA. I don't have it all. Here's my average, the scores. So if I'm looking at all this, it gives me all this. Now the other thing that this system does, if I'm looking at it, remember, this is data that's in here. Good, average. You see, I have expert. I don't have all good. I have hands-ons. I have writing, expert, good, average. And you see how this basically will give me a balanced, diversified team, that the teams will build on themselves, will help each other, and that's what will encourage the collaborative learning. You know, and so these are questions you do. So let me go back a little bit in here. Now, I'm not releasing any of the data. I could say, okay, this was worked pretty good. Now, you also have the ability to select the team members on the same team. I know some individuals, when you read the comments, we had to be together. Or you have some individuals, I have 2 individuals that's English as a second language. They may be from China, they may be from Mexico, they may be from Japan, and I know they're going to feel uncomfortable by being there myself. So those I could still force them. Remember, I haven't released all this. This is just giving me a parameter of what I did. I could change the parameters until I release it, I can say, and I've got the data in front of me. It's so much easier to see. Oh, I got all women here. I got, let's shake up the mix again. So let me change some of my parameters, all right? Or separate, select a team member. Sometimes you may have a team member that they got divorced, but they signed up to the class together while they were still happily, and decided, I love him, and I don't want to work with him. We have the divorce. Yeah, I don't want him in the team, because that has nothing to do with the learning. It's basically their own personal issues, very personal issues, will make the team dysfunctional. So I take it out, okay? And see, I can't wait to see the group. I was unsure on question 2. See, and they can put all their comments. Always they can put their free comments on here. Okay, so we're pretty good on this one. So now when I go in here, and remember, I could change the parameters. I could save the teams. I could remake the teams again as many times. I could save this into an Excel spreadsheet. I could save the teams. Once I save the teams, the minute I save the teams, it's going to send an email to the teams. All right, and that email is sent out until so here's your new team members. So I am not releasing this because I want to remake them. Or I can remake them again, and I should be okay. Let's remake the teams. Okay, it'll take a few seconds. I don't have that many people in here, so it takes pretty quickly. It seemed to work pretty quickly. Okay, so I changed the parameters. Okay, so are we all set on this? So I think this is basically what we have. I go back. I says return. Now, when I'm in here with the teams are already created, and I'm looking at this right here. So I've got all my teams back in here. They're all created. Now, let's look at some of these data here. So now I'm looking at the data from the teams. If I want in here, and I forgot where I want to select, I've got the comments. I think this will be about it for now. Oh, I'll change parameters, excuse me. When I'm looking at changing parameters, right, so I'm looking at the details. I have all this in here. I want to view the data. Let me see, change the parameters. We covered everything. I think that'll be it for now. Again, my name is Dr. George Mochocki, and this is CATME. So remember, this is how you, what do you call it, set up the teams. You have all the information in here. You're doing pretty good, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, my name is Dr. George Mochocki. Today, in this real short YouTube, I'm going to show you how the question manager works in CATME. CATME is a comprehensive assessment team member effectiveness web-based program. Is free to academics. It's by the National Science Foundation, a grant. There's a whole thing on their website. When you go in here, all you have to do is log in as www.catme.org. And if you're an instructor and you like this video and you want to find more information, they have more than enough information. I'm just an instructor utilizing this program to show people who would ask questions on the question managers or different information. So here's the question manager. When you go into CATME, you're creating the teams, but what questions do I ask? So the question manager has several different things. You could ask them the sex, their sex, race, GPA. These are general questions, writing. These are all generated by the system. Leadership, big picture, management, HR, that's personal. Now, these are here questions that some of them I expected I placed in here, some that I copied that already were in here. The other thing is you could always add a question, and here's how you would add a question. You wait a few seconds, and you go next. And basically what it does is, you put in your title, what kind of questions you want, do you want a numeric, do you want a multiple choice, and then basically goes through the whole thing. Then it's going to go this way. Oops, question too short, so the title, I have no question here. I go test. Okay, test. I'm a little nervous here. And question is, how are we doing? How are you planning? How you doing? Let's leave it this way. Doing, okay. Pressure, and let's see, and then go next. And numeric, and let's see, and maybe I'll do multiple choice. Yeah, let's do multiple choice. See what it looks like. Click on it, and then basically you add the question, and you keep on going, and then you could either put it at the community or anything else. Okay, so I'm going to cancel that. I'm going back into questions. Now, the one thing that you like about this CATME system, that is a system that's developed by the community of educators, I think some business individual, 4 universities and community colleges, which I'm presently part of, so I could use community questions. So what I like about the community question, second choice, team preference, is there's someone in the class you'd rather work or not. You could go on here, first choice, what is the project number of your first team? discipline, enter your discipline only. So you have a lot of variety that you could do with this questions. Like language, is English your first language? Year of study, what year did you study in? Your project preferences, what are the 4 preferred projects, selected up to 4. And these are questions that already somebody did. If you look at this, man, there's a multitude of questions you don't even have to develop. I didn't even think of half of these questions, but this is what makes this program work well, okay? So this one is always just on the questions. You could import selected questions once you set that in there, and it's going to put it into your own test bank that you could have. So next time you come out, you don't have to do the questions. Let's see, I'm going to set a team preference, teammate, first choice, and then import. And what happens, and now they're in the question. You see how easy it is with incomplete? They've been finished that one, incomplete. So this must be some information I have to do, okay? So I'm just going to return. And that basically it is on CATME. And my name is Dr. George Mochocki, and I hope this little video will encourage you to utilize a lot of activities that CATME has a whole process in here that you can go back in. And if I'm looking at any of this, it will, when you go back in your profile, make sure you put in your profile some information. This one's with Harper College. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.